The words cut deeper than any knife, sharper than the laughter that erupted around the dinner table. A wellness coach? You think that's a real job? You'll be back here in no time, broke and embarrassed. I could still hear the echo of my brother's voice, the mockery twisting in my gut like a living thing. That night, as I sat alone in my room, I felt like a ghost in my own home, haunted by the dismissal of the very people who were supposed to believe in me. But something ignited within me, a relentless fire that would fuel the journey I was about to embark on, a journey that would change everything. I remember leaving that house, slamming the door behind me, the sound of my heart thudding in my ears. I had spent years dreaming of building an online wellness community, a safe haven for mental health advocacy, self-care practices, and emotional support. Yet, my family saw it as a joke, a frivolous distraction from what they considered real aspirations. Their laughter echoed through my mind, a cruel reminder that I was alone in my pursuit. But here's the thing about rejection. It has a way of igniting a fierce determination. I threw myself into work, creating content, sharing my thoughts on self-love and mental health, pouring my heart into every video, every post. I was terrified, fighting against a relentless tide of self-doubt. Yet I pressed on with an obsessive resolve. I turned my pain into purpose, drew strength from my solitude, and slowly I began to cultivate a community that flourished like a wildflower in the desert. Days turned into nights, and nights blurred into weeks and months. I faced countless challenges, technical mishaps, negative comments, and the ever-present pressure of financial insecurity. I felt like I was walking on a tightrope, one misstep away from falling into the abyss of failure. But every time I felt like giving up, I remembered those piercing words, the laughter that had dismissed my dreams. I pushed myself harder, fueled by the thought of proving them wrong. And then, one day, it happened. I posted a video on self-care strategies that exploded overnight, reaching thousands of views. People resonated with my message. They shared their stories, their struggles, and their victories. I found myself connecting with strangers who felt as lost and alone as I once did. My community grew, not just in numbers, but in heart. I became a beacon of hope, a voice for those who felt voiceless. Fast forward several years, I had transformed barren lands into thriving ecosystems of support through digital mental health advocacy. I had built a platform that empowered people to embrace their vulnerabilities, to heal and grow. I didn't just find success. I built something beautiful from the ashes of my rejection. Yet, as the warmth of my newfound success enveloped me, a part of me felt an undeniable pull to return home. I imagined the looks on their faces when they saw what I'd accomplished. Would my family finally see me? Would they understand the significance of my work? The thought of facing them both thrilled and terrified me, but I knew I had to try. When I walked through the door of my childhood home, time seemed to stand still. The familiar scent of my mother's cooking filled the air, instantly transporting me back to my old life. My family was gathered around the table, their laughter and animated discussions fading. They turned toward me. I stood there, heart racing, ready to show them all that I achieved. "Hey, everyone," I said, my voice shaky but determined. My mother blinked in disbelief, while my brother's mouth fell open. "What are you doing here?" he asked, a hint of confusion clouding his face. "I came to share something with you." I took a deep breath, pulling out my laptop, the canvas where I poured my soul for so long. I opened my latest video, showcasing the community I had nurtured, a vibrant tapestry of voices united in the pursuit of healing and resilience. As the video played, I watched my family's expressions shift from skepticism to awe. They saw the faces of those I had helped, the tears of joy, the shared stories of triumph over adversity. They witnessed firsthand the impact of my work, the lives transformed through the simple act of sharing and connecting. Tears welled in my mother's eyes, and for the first time, I saw pride instead of judgment. My brother shifted uncomfortably, his own facade of indifference cracking as he whispered, "I had no idea." When the video ended, I felt a wave of vulnerability crash over me. "I know you didn't believe in me," I said, voice trembling, But I needed to follow this path, to prove to myself and to all of you that this dream mattered, that I mattered. The silence that followed was heavy, fraught with unspoken words and emotions. Finally, my mother stepped forward, her hands trembling as she reached for mine. "I'm sorry," she whispered, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I didn't understand. I thought I was protecting you from failure." "I only wanted you to believe in me," I replied, feeling the weight of years of hurt begin to lift. "And now I want you to be a part of this journey." The conversation flowed from there, filled with apologies and newfound understanding. My family, once so quick to dismiss my dreams, now stood beside me, ready to support my mission. It was a bittersweet moment, realizing the pain of our past, but embracing the hope of our future together. I had taken the long road to get here, but the journey had shaped me into someone resilient, someone who could face any storm. As I left that night, I felt lighter, the burden of their disbelief finally lifted. I had not only transformed my own life, but had opened the door for my family to understand the power of dreams, no matter how ridiculous they may seem. And the best part? I knew my journey was just beginning. Together, we could bridge the gap between skepticism and belief, turning discredit into support, laughter into empowerment. I realized that healing hearts wasn't just an online mission. It was a family affair.